Is anybody out there? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, if you can see me right now, that means things have gone terribly, terribly right. If you can see me and hear me, things are going terribly right for you. That means you have electricity and you have a way to watch this. So things are going right. So the question is, when you first saw that, were you like, oh no, what's happening? Or were you, man, what has he got going on? Well, depending on how you see things, is the glass half empty or is it half full? That will tell you how you think. All right, bless the Lord. Let's hear the word of God and then get right to the video.
The Word of God says in Jeremiah 32, verses 26 and 27, Then the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, Behold, I am the Lord, the God of all flesh. Is there anything too hard for me? Hey y'all, praise the Lord. Welcome back to the channel. And today, as you can see on the screen, it's a little different, but we're going to spec out a 2022 Corvette. And that's all stemming because something I said in one of my last videos about would I want a C8? And I said, absolutely. And so today we're going to spec it out and explain why I am choosing the options that I am. So let's take a look at the screen here. Let's hit build and price. All right. So when you do that, the first screen that pops up, and we'll get rid of this little black bar there. And all that black bar was saying was that some of the items may not be available. Okay, so we're starting out, do you want a coupe or a convertible? And either way you go, the center rooftop does come out. And for me, though, it is without a doubt a convertible model for myself. As you can see, this picture, it's in the torch red, but that roof panel right there will come out, and instead of storing here in the trunk like the coupe model does and takes up the luggage space, the whole top and the right here in this back end, it all folds down and covers up on top of the motor, so you don't lose any luggage space. So that is one of the big reasons why I want a convertible. I don't lose the luggage space, and I still have the top off just like on the coupe. But the big bonus is, you've heard me time before, say I don't like to wash them. I don't, detail cars like others. And knowing that, I don't ever wash under the hood. But with the coupe model, your engine is exposed for everyone to see. So I don't want everybody to see the dirtiness, so this way it gets covered up and I don't lose luggage space. For me, hey, that's a win-win. And, at $69,695 starting out, I think it is a spectacular price. So then when you go to the next, the trim levels, you got 1LT, 2LT, and 3LT. There are plenty of videos out there that explains the differences between each one of them. The big thing that I say for myself is I want the 3LT, and it's not because I have to have the quote-unquote best of the best. because you see that it takes the price up from $69,695 all the way up to a little more than $81,000. There is a lot more you get as standard on that car because of it. But for me, the 3LT represents a particular interior color package that I would want. If I'm spending this type of money, why not get what you want? All right, so moving on, we'll have colors. Now, there's a whole host of colors. As you see, the torch red, and in a moment, black will pop up. Another nice color on these Corvettes. Elkhart Lake Blue is a fantastic color, but it's just not one that I really, said I have to have. The Accelerate Yellow I didn't like. The Caffeine Brown, the Caffeine Metallic, I've heard people call it meatloaf. I've seen it in person at Corvettes at Carlisle. I've even sat in one, and man, what an incredible car this really is. Just don't like that color. The Rapid Blue, know somebody that has one, and it is a neat color, but it's not one for me. The Red Mist Metallic, again, that is an incredible color, and I was really trying to choose if I could order one of these, what would I do it in? That was my second choice, but believe it or not, just right back at the very top, this Arctic White is just the one that I loved. The white with the black accents on it just really, to me, sets the car off. If you're into stripes, that's great. I'm not a big stripe fan. Here is an example of the full-length dual racing stripe. And that's in the Carbon Flash. I just don't like that as much as I do just being the plain color. And for $1,000, I can do without them because, as you'll see, there are some other options that I want that are a little pricey. And it comes naturally with the jet black interior. That's always a great choice. It always looks good. But we went with the 3LT for this specific color, and it's called Natural Dipped. And that's where the interior is completely tan. I mean, pretty much everything is. And when you click on it, it's going to say that you have to add the natural seatbelt color, which is obviously a great choice. As you can see in that picture, I mean, it's tan everywhere. And I just fell in love with that look. And the particular natural dipped, it is the Napa leather. So depending on what the grades of leather are, Napa, I believe, is one of the better ones. But you can let me know in the comments down below. But it's with the perforated inserts. It's because these seats are not only heated, but they also are cooled seats, so they need spots for the air to come through them. So that's what the color is, that why I had to go with the 3LT. It's just, this interior is it for me. Now on to the packages. This is where you could spend some money, and this is where you have to really be honest with yourself and and say, what am I going to do with this car? For me, I don't track a car. I'm not out on track days. I've been to the drag strip once or twice, and that's it, just a few runs. So the Z51 Performance Package is not one that is high on my list because I would never use the features of it. the performance suspension to help it corner better, along with the electronic limited slip differential. Again, it's all about traction through the corners. The performance ratio rear axle that's included for quicker and better starts. Again, nothing that I am saying I would use definitely not on a daily basis, not on a weekly or monthly basis. But, you never know, maybe once or twice. But for over $6,000, I can't see spending that type of money. And now the only thing that would be nice would be to have the Z51 Performance Brembo brakes. They're the larger brakes, but I can do without those. And they also have some of these other packages, the Stingray R appearance. It's just some stickers and some decals that may or may not suit your taste. The contoured liner protection package for your trunks and all-weather floor mats. Again, nothing that I'm saying that I have to have. Roadside safety package, your first aid kit, that's inexpensive enough, but I'm sure that, everybody already has some sort of first aid kit that they have with them. So let's go on to the exterior. This is where it could get expensive. And as you're looking at the screen, it may not seem very expensive because, one optional wheel is about $1,000. And a couple of the other ones are right at the $1,500 mark. But where that gets expensive is the fact that if you choose those options, you put out that much more money. And if you're going to change to aftermarket wheels anyways, you're just spending money that you could have put in other parts of the car. That's why I left it clicked with just the standard wheels. I think those look great, and they would serve the purpose with the all-season Michelin tires on there, because my goal would be, to put aftermarket wheels on, because there's a lot of nice looking aftermarket wheels, but I can't see spending $2,000 or $3,000 on that after I've already spent, say, $1,500 for, say, like this Trident wheel that hopefully it will come up. There it is. It's a nice looking wheel and all, but that's not everything that I would want for the car. So I can't see spending $1,500 there and then spending, $2,000 to $3,000 more for a nice set of aftermarket wheels later on. So these wheels here, that's what to me works with the car. And as you can see on this view, the wheels just go with the car. So I like them. And of course, you've all heard me talk about the all-season tires. It's really necessary here in Virginia because we drive year-round. We don't get a whole lot of snow. When we do, like my C4 is parked right now. Now I could drive it because the roads are clear. My all-season tires that I have on there would handle the cold weather. Today it was in the high 20s and the low 30s. So they would handle the weather just fine. Your high-performance summer-only tires, I understand from other people I've talked to that owns like a 2019 ZR1 Corvette, said that he couldn't bring his car to a certain event that we went to because by the time he got home, it would be below that threshold in the temperature, and he said he would be all over the road. They just get like ice. So that's why it's so important for, the all-season tires. Now, here are some of the other options that, again, might be nice, but I don't have to have them because $6,000 for the Z51 package is just, I'm not going to use it. So I can use that money elsewhere, which you'll see here in just a moment. But the electronic limited slip differential, the performance ratio rear axle, Uh, and the heavy duty cooling, they're all nice to have, but it's nothing that I'm going to need. I would check on the battery protection package. It is a tender designed to specifically plug up into the car to help keep your battery fresh and ready to go when you drive your car. These cars update just like our phones do, because you know how every time you seem to be on the phone and you want to do something fairly important, and all of a sudden you have a system update and now everything is stopped and you got to do that. Well, that's called over-the-air updates, and the Corvette does the same sort of thing. It will do the over-the-air updates. So having your car plugged up to its tender the way it should be, so if you're not driving it every week, the battery stays charged up, and then when these over-the-air updates happen through Chevrolet, then you're not killing your battery. Also, I would, and I'm going to check off this magnetic selective ride control. Everything I have ever heard about this just makes the car that much more comfortable. And if you do watch any automotive TV and you catch any of the British shows, they talk about grand tours, and you'll see them some very nice exotics, but they're touring like France or Scotland or England, or, you know, they're just all over. They're touring, taking some amazing trips with the cars, and this magnetic ride control really helps put the tour into the car, because it still is a performance car, but this helps make it something a little extra special. And then also, here is one of the big things, especially where we live, but this front lift with memory. It is a little pricey at a little over $2,000, but let me click on this box so I can read directly what Chevrolet says about it. And as you can see here, it says raises the front of the vehicle approximately 40 millimeters, about 2 inches, in less than 3 seconds at lower speeds, and that's up to 24 miles an hour. Remembers up to 1,000 GPS locations so you can clear low obstacles like speed bumps or steep driveways. How incredible is that? You got a lot of higher end cars that are known as exotics, supercars, or Porsches, Mercedes, and Koenigsegg's, and all these other outlandish names, Bugatti. You may or may not be able to get that on those, but here is a car starting off in the 60s that has it. And thinking about with memory, so every time you save one, and you can save up to 1,000, as you approach it, the GPS knows where you're at, and it will automatically lift the nose up. You go over that obstacle, and it lowers it back down, and it helps avoid, scraping up that front end or damaging the front end. So to me, that is a must. Now, a lot of people like the brake calipers being a bright color, but for myself, because I don't have anything bright on this, the black calipers are perfect. And where else I would want to spend some money is right here on the performance exhaust. Generally, with a factory option performance exhaust, they will claim a little bit higher horsepower, but you get a better sound out of them, and you don't have to go through the headaches. With my C4, I put a Corsa exhaust on. It is fantastic, and I did it myself. Would I want to do something like that to a brand new car? I think not. On these cars, you probably have to pull that rear bumper off in order to correctly get to most of the exhaust area in order to change it out. Now, I'm sure Corsa and Borla, and there are several other people out there that makes exhaust. I'm sure they make a fantastic product for this car. But do I want to spend that type of money and then pay somebody to install it or try to install it myself? I think I would just spend a little bit here and get a good sounding exhaust from the factory while maintaining a factory warranty. Some of the other options here, center caps, whatever comes standard is fine with me on that. I don't need any decals on the front fenders, any of that. The carbon flash painted nacelles and roof, or the carbon flash painted nacelles and body colored roof. Well, I'll click on it so you can see the difference. And so you see what the nacelle is, what they're talking about. There you go. You see this little black area now. I've seen them both ways, and I think I just like body colored the best. And again, that's always a personal opinion. Somebody may say, oh, no, that's a must have. And hey, more power to you. Order it the way you would like. They do have several different types of wings, and now they even have a spoiler. And a wing normally is mounted with 2 or more pedestals holding it up off the body itself, where a spoiler is mounted directly to the body, and it's a lip that comes up off the car. There is a particular aftermarket brand of spoiler and front splitter for this that I would want to order. There's a couple of companies that are making some really cool stuff. I think that would be the only thing I'd want to add to the car through the aftermarket. And as you scroll down through, you see so many different pieces. Now, front and rear splash guards in black. Well, okay, the car is white. It has all the black accents. Do I want what have traditionally been called mud flaps? Absolutely. These do not stick out very far. They're almost not noticeable, but it does extend out farther than what they do without, and you can't even hardly see them here. And what it does is it just helps keep any of the splatter from the road from coming up onto the side of the cars, whether it's gravel or salt or rain, whatever. And you can't even see them on here, but I've seen them on, and they look nice. They're very discreet, but it helps protect the side of the car. So for me, that was actually a must. Trying to see some of these other ones. This one I never understood. You have a Corvette, you want to show it off, so I don't understand the reasoning why you would take a white car and put white lettering saying Corvette instead of the contrasting color to really stand out. But again, that might be somebody's thing, and more power to them. And let's see, the museum delivery, that's kind of cool. But for $1,000, I'll just go visit the museum. And for those that really want to have a total custom experience, choosing your own VIN number for an extra $5,000, that may be for you, but not for me. All right, let's move on to interior. Because it is the 3LT, you get the premium infotainment system, the 8-inch HD touchscreen, the GT2 bucket seats. They are very comfortable. The natural seatbelt color, because I picked that trim. Here's where I would spend a little extra money also. I wasn't too interested in the all-weather floor mat liners, because those would be more for, if you had snow on your feet or mud or something like that. So the premium carpeted ones in black would be just fine. It does contrast the interior a little bit better, and why not have a black floor mat so whatever stuff you do have on your shoes doesn't dig in and dirty the light colored carpet. Also, the suede microfiber wrap steering wheel. Okay, it's not going to let me do it in this configuration. If you can get that, I would love to have it that way. And let's see what else. They got a bunch of organizers and different things like that. Color combo, override. That's not necessary because I want that natural interior. Now, with the accessories, they make so many different accessories. Real quick, roof carriers. I wouldn't need anything like that. Luggage. Some people argue that, why not buy the luggage that was designed to fit in the space of the trunk, so that way okay, this is all I got. This is what fits in here when you go on a cruise or on a vacation with the car. Good idea. I think I would just learn what fits and what doesn't rather than spending a little extra money. Cleaning products. Well, there's a whole host of different things that they offer, and this looks like it's Adams polishes. A lot of people love them. Others, want this brand or that brand. So, I use F11. I really like it. It's does amazing on that C4. So, that's one I like. Electronics, again, you can spend a whole lot of money, but again, nothing that I'm like, oh man, I gotta have with this car. Because, you don't need headphones while driving the car, or any these plugs or anything. Exterior, ground effects. These are all they're like the front splitters, and the low profile spoiler on the back. Again, I wouldn't need to order any of them from the factory because I'm looking at another company, an aftermarket company, to do that. And I've seen them on In-Chain Designs up in Corvettes at Carlisle. On his C8, it's a design that he made, and they're getting ready to put on the market for sale. Incredible look that it adds, and so that's where I would want to do that. The floor mats we already did. Security and protection. The roadside emergency reflective triangles. They're only $15. You could throw that in. Hopefully you don't ever need them. And then tools, we all have plenty of tools. But these are probably nothing you would keep in the car and ride around with you. So anyway, let's go to a summary here. We'll go back to the exterior, just so you can see a couple of the different angles. That's with the top up. It'll come back up now with the top down. And, to me, that's just an amazing looking car. And this time, as I spec'd it out, it was just over 87. If you can get it for MSRP, that would be wonderful. You got to remember you have destination charges, taxes, all that. And some dealerships, they don't do to me, the most ethical thing. They put markups on these vehicles because they know they can get it. Chevrolet doesn't stop them. They say they would prefer that they don't, but they don't stop them. And sometimes you hear of $20,000, $30,000 over MSRP. And so, if you can get it for what you're building it at or close to it, that would be wonderful. I know if we ever had the opportunity to build and actually buy one of these, where we would go to the dealership. And now let's switch over to the actual visualizer. There we go. And as you can see, this one isn't spec'd out quite the same. It does have that low spoiler on it. But this here, I just wanted to show you how the roof works if you've never seen it, and hopefully it's not very glitchy. Hopefully this works, how it may not. Oh, here we go. Okay. So hopefully this will move up and down the way it's intended. Chevrolet's visualizer sometimes crashes because so many people are on it. But as you can see, that this back piece opens up and the roof folds down in. And as you can see there coming up, it makes it a little bit better. Come on. Let's try it again. Roof down. Is it going to work? Roof coming up. Roof coming up. Come on, come on. There we go. There we go. And what's neat is the windows go up and down as you do the roof. So hopefully you kind of saw a little bit of that, but it's just a fantastic car. Would I want a C8? Oh, absolutely. If it was within our means, no doubt about it. So now you see how I would spec it out, why I would spec it out this way. This car would be a great, as the Brits call them, a grand touring car. There's plenty of performance, and both in a straight line and cornering. They're comfortable, especially with that magnetic ride control, because of how much and how fast it adjusts as you go over the bumps. It happens without you even knowing it. It's really there. Everybody that has them says you don't know it's there and working until you are in something that doesn't have it. So, got to have that. And what a car. What more could I say? This here would be my car. Only $87,000, $90,000. Maybe one day the Lord will open up the door. Maybe he won't. Either way, it doesn't matter. But it's fun to take a look at them and figure out what I would do and why I would do it. So hopefully you guys liked the video tonight. If you did, please make sure you give me a thumbs up, and please leave a comment. What did you like about the build on it? What would you do differently? And then share the video, because some of your friends may be like, oh no, that was wrong, you should have done this, or whatever. And if you would, hit subscribe. That will help us out tremendously. And also when you do that, also hit the bell notification so that way you stay up to date when we put out a new video. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. God bless you. We love you. And we will catch you on the next video.